It's me, Hard 8 times. It's the truth for YouTube. Your favorite commentator's favorite commentator. Yeah. What's up, people? What's happening? Make sure you go check out my last video, Battlefield 4 graphics lacking on PS4. It'll be down in the video response section just in case you missed it. You did. And also, go check out the Facebook group, Adult Gamers. Everybody is welcome. All that we ask is you keep it gaming. Now, if you haven't heard, if you haven't saw the news, GTA 4, or the GTA franchise, seems to be under fire again. So an 8-year-old boy shoots his grandmother in the back of the head with a gun after playing GTA 4. This is how they are delivering the story. Now, one thing I noticed about the story when I was reading it is how they tried to make GTA look worse than it actually is by saying that you get points for killing people. Now, I have played a lot of GTA, and I do not remember one time where I got some points for killing people. But hey, that's the media. They like to twist shit up and try to make things seem worse than what they really are. You know what I mean? But here's the thing about this story. Once again, video games, once again, the GTA brand is going to be under scrutiny for this. Once again, it's going to be blamed for this happening. It's going to be blamed for this little kid picking up a loaded gun in the house and shooting his grandmother in the back of the head. Now, when I was growing up, you know what I mean, I knew the difference between right and wrong. When I was 8 years old, I knew the difference. When I was 5 years old, I knew the difference between right and wrong. You know why? Because if I did something wrong, my dad will whoop my ass. You understand what I'm saying? My uncle would whoop my ass. My aunts would whoop my ass if I did something that I wasn't supposed to do. So I knew the difference between right and wrong. Now, growing up, I wasn't one of those kids that got restricted. I wasn't restricted from watching rated R movies or watching or playing violent video games or anything like that, or TV shows, cartoons, whatever. I wasn't one of them people that my parents didn't restrict me on that. They didn't say, oh, you can't watch this. I can remember clear as day back in like 88, 89, I was like, you know, 7, 8 years old, and my mom and dad took me and my sister, who was younger, to go see Harlem Nights. Matter of fact, that night it was a double feature because we wanted to go see Harlem Nights, then we wanted to go see that movie Shocker. I don't know if y'all remember that movie Shocker, but it was terrible. But if you've seen Harlem Nights, then you know damn well that might not be a movie for, it's definitely not a movie for a 7, 8-year-old kid. You understand what I'm saying? Definitely not. But you get what I'm saying. Even movies like RoboCop. So violent. Y'all seen RoboCop? Y'all seen what happened to Murphy? Does it hurt? Does it hurt? You know what I mean? And I was a kid. I was a fucking kid. But I didn't think, oh, let me find a gun and do this to somebody I love or to somebody out in the street. I knew better. You understand what I'm saying? I knew better. Now, this kid shouldn't have been playing GTA in the first place. You know what I mean? They always like to blame video games, but movies never get blamed. TV shows don't get blamed. Cartoons don't get blamed. None of this shit gets blamed when a kid picks up a gun and shoots somebody with it. The first thing they blame is video games. Oh, well, what does he do on his day-to-day basis? Well, he plays video games. Oh, there it goes. What video games does he play? Oh, he plays Grand Theft Auto. Yup, that was it. Grand Theft Auto trained this kid to fucking get a gun, load it, and shoot it. Aim and shoot. Yup, Grand Theft Auto taught this kid how to do that. They always blame video games, never movies. Now, I used to watch, growing up, Arnold Schwarzenegger was my favorite actor. I watched Terminator 2. I watched Terminator 2 so much that the VHS, the tape, pop. And I was like, what was I? 10, 11 years old when Terminator 2 came out. And I used to watch that shit every single day. I'll bullshit you not, every single day. Very violent movie. Arnold Schwarzenegger used to kill 1,000 people in his movies. Commando was one of my favorite movies. The Running Man. Violent movies. I didn't think, oh, let me go out and do this in the real. Because I knew it was wrong. It had nothing to do with what I was doing. I knew how to separate what was entertainment and what's real. I think they need to start chalking this up as being some type of mental disability. Like something has to be mentally wrong with you to confuse video games with real life. You have to be mentally fucked up in your head. Even as an 8-year-old kid, something has to be wrong with you not to be able to separate the two. Because at 8 years old, I could separate the two. So I'm just basing it off my, off of my own experience as being an 8-year-old kid. I didn't never, mix them together. I knew there was a difference. So it has to be some type of mental disability, not the video game. After I watched a movie like Commando, I didn't want to go on a fucking shooting spree or Predator or anything like that. I knew the difference. But of course, GTA is going to be blamed for this. You know what I mean? Somehow they knew. I guess the game was still on when the kid went and grabbed the gun. And that's another thing. Nobody wants to point the fingers at the parents. Why did this 8-year-old kid have access to a loaded weapon? How did this 8-year-old kid have access to a loaded weapon? So first of all, he shouldn't have been playing GTA. You know what I mean? Because it's a M-rated game. It's a M-rated game for 17 and older. It's M-rated. First of all, he shouldn't have been playing GTA 4. You know what I mean? You could blame the parents for buying that game. They knew that game was M-rated. You know what I mean? They heard about Grand Theft Auto. Who hasn't heard about Grand Theft Auto? They know what type of game Grand Theft Auto is. I'm quite sure they probably even stood over his shoulder and watched him play a couple of times. They knew what the fuck Grand Theft Auto was. You understand what I'm saying? And secondly, you have a loaded weapon in the house where an 8-year-old kid has access to it. He was able to go, get off the game, go and grab the gun and shoot his grandma in the back of the head. Now, the 8-year-old kid said it was an accident, but the police believe it was a homicide. And in the state that he's in, I forget what state it is, I think it was Louisiana, you cannot, a kid, an 8-year-old, a kid that's 10 and under cannot be charged as cannot be charged. They don't, they cannot be charged for doing any criminal act. So a 7-year-old kid can shoot up 5 people and he won't be charged because they have a statute of limitation where if you're 10 and under, you cannot be charged criminally. So that's just, I don't know. That's crazy. I just think that's crazy. I mean, come on, man. As an 8-year-old kid, I was pretty fucking smart. I knew what the hell was going on. I could separate real from fake very easy. I can separate a video game from real life very easily. So I think it's more, you have to blame the parents, you know what I mean? You have to blame the adults in this kid's life, and you have to blame the parents for having a loaded weapon in the house that he could get to. Now, I'm not saying they shouldn't have a loaded weapon in their house. You know, people have weapons for protection and things like that. It's hard times. People like to break in people's houses and shit like that. That's cool. But it shouldn't be in a place where an 8-year-old kid can just walk and get it whenever he feels like it. It shouldn't be like that. It should be in a locked box, behind a locked door, or hidden. Something where he don't even know where it's at. You understand what I'm saying? But before you blame games, blame the parents. You know what I mean? Blame the parents. Don't blame the video games. Like I said, games, movies never get blamed. You got people killing 1,000 people in these movies. Never blame them. Why? Why should we blame them? That's all good. But the minute, you know, it's a video game, oh my God, just stop video games. Like I said, when I was 8, I was watching violent movies and things like that. My parents didn't care. The only time my parents, the only movie I can remember my mom did not let me watch was The Witches of Eastwick. I think that's like a very sexual movie or something. I don't know. But The Witches of Eastwick was a movie that I was not allowed to watch. It's crazy because if we watching a movie and a sex scene coming up and they know, or if it pops up, they be like, oh, cover your eyes, cover your eyes. But if a scene where a motherfucker get blowing off 30 niggas' heads, I was allowed to watch that, but I couldn't see no titties. I could see a head get blown off, but I couldn't see no titties. It was just crazy to me. But, you know, this is a crazy story, man. You know, my condolences go out to the family, because this is ridiculous that they had to lose their grandmother or a family member over this bullshit. But you have to, it starts with the parents. Everything starts with the parents. So, I don't know. Let me know what y'all think down in the comment section. This your boy Hard 8, and I'm out. Deuces.
Hey! Hey! New shoes on the Range Rover, good with mine. Motherfuckers act like I